that you build the most valuable products that scale using technology. And a lot of the technology has evolved so much, you guys, that it doesn't even take what it used to take back in the day to get things off the ground with your ideas. I want to now introduce our next panel. Are y'all ready for the next panel? I'm ready for the next panel. I got to introduce first Miss Tierra Smith. She brags on Black women for a living. This queen, I've worked with her, I think starting at the end of 2019, she made this video. She said, I'm launching my gold. And I was like, who is this woman telling me she doing this? And I was like, okay, this is very unique. We wound up meeting each other in Houston, and we've had a growing relationship since then. She literally has created a platform called Win for Black Girls, and she also built a text message community. Let's talk about it, because a lot of times we build products and we build things, and we don't focus on the people that we're called to serve. And so this panel is all about community building through technology. So she created Wins for Black Girls, which also has a podcast, that Faith Tech Grow Help Launch. And the other speaker is none other than Mr. Jovante Ham, who is a believer, a husband, a father, an author from Florida. And you guys, one of my clients, Alicia, she has a business called Twin Nation. And let me tell y'all, I was like, Melanoid Exchange, you can put your products on there for free. They may take a little fee, but they let you do it like that. They just letting you have an audience for your products to get displayed, so you ain't even got to do all the hard and heavy lifting. And they have the opportunity to go to Afrotech. Who are these beautiful people on Melanoid Exchange? So, Jovante, I've been following you, your wife, Melanoid Exchange. I tell everybody about your products so that when they don't have the tools, the resources to host their own products, they go right on the Melanoid Exchange. So Jasmine plugs him in there. He did go to Prairie View A&M University. Hey! And also, you guys, he started a book with the Hood Scholar. Now, I didn't give Tierra all her roses. One, I'd had a technology issue. I could not find her bio. But if I could speak on Tierra's character, if I can tell you all how beautiful of a person she is to make a platform where she not only talks to Black women, empowers Black women, shares the wins for Black women. At the end of the day, I love being a Black woman because Tierra done made a space for me. Let's talk about it, okay? And she's an award. I believe you're an award-winning journalist, right? And you're out there in Houston,
Correct.
Texas, but you travel all over the world, in my opinion, making sure that people know that Black women are winning. So Tierra, Jovante, thank y'all for being here today. Let's help them build communities using technology. Y'all go ahead and grace the stage.
How y'all doing?
Thank you so much, Jess. Oh man, it's been great. Thank you so much for having us. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you guys today. How are you feeling, Jovante?
I'm feeling the same. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling blessed to be in the presence of God, first and foremost, and just to be in an event like this, man, because I think us as, faith-based entrepreneurs, it's kind of always it's either or. And me with Melanoid Exchange, I'm not private. Me and my wife, it's nothing private. Like if you following us, you're going to get this guy. I don't care how you feel about it. And so just also seeing other people that's, not scared to, go against the grain and not be, the prototype of what they say a business is supposed to do, man. Just to be at an event like this where, we don't have to shy down, our faith while we're talking about entrepreneurship, man. So to say the least, I'm just blessed and happy to be here.
Okay, yeah, I agree because my faith is so important to who I am and how I'm building my company that, a little ratchet gets thrown in there from time to time. But who I am at the core is really built on faith, and my family is that way. And it's really ingrained in who I am. And so I'm happy that when I'm building my business and my brand, that I could be conscious about making sure that God is around and centered in everything I do. But we can jump into our conversation today. Like she was saying, I'm a journalist, so I got my little questions here already. the first question I wanted to ask you, and then we can just piggyback back and forth, is like, what is your community and why did you feel like it needed to be created?
So my community, my company is called. It's a subset of my company, which is called Melanoid Exchange, and pretty much like how she said, we are an e-commerce platform, but we kind of took a different approach. So what we have is an educational tool for early stage e-commerce businesses to pretty much start, launch, and grow their business and gain that traction with their earliest customers. By starting, validating their business model and just helping them get started with some of the things that other platforms would kind of bypass when they're just getting started with their e-commerce journey. And just with all of the things that's been happening with COVID, with going online not really just being a luxury anymore or a nice to have, it's now a must have. And so pretty much what we do is we assist businesses in that transition from being, whether you was a brick and mortar or maybe you didn't have a brick and mortar store, you maybe just was selling stuff at vendor festivals or things in that nature. We kind of help you get transition online and then help you prosper and understand really what it is, what you're doing once you get online, so you can kind of get the ball rolling and start some traction online with your products.
Absolutely. And because you're focusing on Black people and Black businesses, did you notice like there's a specific need or intentionality that you had to focus on that might be different? And like, what really did you have? What challenge are you really trying to face? Is it that, when you're have a new business, it's really hard to like get that first traction? Is that the solution that y'all are trying to solve?
Yeah, it's a part of it, but the main issue is that us as the Black community, as we all know, we always lack the knowledge and resources to kind of prosper in business. And you kind of see some of that stuff to why everybody's like hosting webinars and things like that. But what we kind of saw with with quality e-commerce education, it's a reason why you might see why we're at vendor festivals and our counterparts, they have e-commerce businesses that have scaled and might be doing $2-3 million in revenue, and their product is not even half as good as our product. And we really figured out that it was just because we lack the knowledge and the resources on how do we even get started. What it is that we what do we do once we get online? It's not as simple as how everybody in YouTube makes it look. Just that you would get your product and you get you a couple, like let's say if you selling some beard oil or something like that, it's not as simple as I'm getting a beard oil, I post it on my Instagram and everybody goes crazy. And so what we kind of saw with Black entrepreneurs, with Black and brown entrepreneurs, is that it was a disconnect. We have the best products, we're known for, we are the culture, You see brands like Fashion Nova and different brands like that copying off of our culture. However, they know how to take advantage of the internet and to maximize the potential that they have while we don't. So we might be struggling to make a couple $100s at the vendor festival when they might have the same product and they might be doing millions in revenue a month. And so that's kind of the biggest problem that we saw. In just to piggyback off of that, with everybody having to go online, after COVID and things like that, I think that the small business, but the Black business in particular, could be going extinct if we don't understand how to kind of function online and just kind of, understand what it is that we're doing.
Absolutely. And to piggyback off of you, like Wins for Black Girls is a media company. So what I'm trying to do is trying to be able to connect directly with an audience of Black women that will be able to move and support and engage on command. And so the one thing that was really important for me is like, how do I want to communicate? And I wanted our communication to be direct. And so when you're building a community, you have to think about all these different avenues and ways you can communicate. And so we use text alerts. And at first we were going to go with emails, and I was going to send out like a weekly email with, these are the 5 stories you should read about Black women. But even the process of building that email, it was taking me a long time. And so I did research, and I was like, okay, what are my other options on communication? And text alerts are becoming one of the most, first off, everyone reads their text messages. Unlike email, which has a low open response rate, people who have text messages, they have like a 97% open rate. So when you're starting to collect data from your community, if that be their name and their phone number and their name and their city, you also should be getting their phone number and their email address, because now you notice like companies like you mentioned, Fashion Nova, as soon as you got your refund check, they were sending you a text message like, hey, come spend your money with me. And so I'm trying to engage my community. So not only will they spend money, but they will have knowledge, basic information about how Black women are impacting their lives. People don't know. So with our text alerts, we're looking at the news, we're looking at politics, we're looking at culture, we're looking at entertainment, we're looking at how Black women are putting their imprint all over the world. And so we can know what we're doing. So when we having conversations and people saying, oh, this, and that, you can be like, no, Stacey Abrams is this. And you can be well more knowledgeable about what our community is doing. And so really when you hear that text alert, I want it to be kind of uplifting, so you can know like there's a Black girl winning somewhere. And so that's kind of where my community come from. And when it comes to like being intentional about building my community, I'm not afraid to say that I'm for Black women, and if you don't say it, then a lot of times we are missed. They just switch past us. So I'm so intentional that you have to know, if you looking to connect with Black women, or if you looking to support Black women, you can come here. This is not necessarily a space that is not for other people. It's a space for Black people, Black women, created for Black women. But if you want to come support us, come. But you have to respect the space. We want to feel safe in our space, and that's not always the case. So I'm trying to be very intentional about creating a space where Black women can feel seen and celebrated and honored and recognized, and hopefully spend a little bit of money with them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love it. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
So it's just like, it's really important to be intentional. So when you were saying like, who is your community for, and like, what do you hope to, like, who are you actually targeting? Like, what kind of business owners are perfect for your community?
So pretty much who we target is, we break it down in a subset. So I got my exact customer persona. And so it's Black business owners who are millennials, who, are new early stage online business owners who have made less than $10,000 online from inception. And so I'm kind of super specific, because, that's really where we want to start at. We really want to, we know that that's who we really see on Instagram. That's who we see who has all of these businesses. But the thing is, that's the main demographic that we've seen with our target audience that we can make the most immediate impact with. And I honestly think that my community is for, what we're building is for everybody. But we truly believe that we have to start where home is. You get what I'm saying? I think that when we make it a fact that, okay, we know that if we can solve, because we have so. At first, I started with it saying, it's only supposed to be for us, by us, and God kind of put that in my spirit that if I do it that way, it's still going to be some sort of segregation on the back end. And I'm real big on the text, and I know that that's not what He wants. Me, I'm not saying anybody else, but that's not what He wants me to be intentional to do. So I understand that, purpose solves problems. And so, if I can solve this problem for this specific group of people who, have on average $0 in net worth, then it's going to be evident that it can be solved for everybody else. But as for now, this is who we serve, and we not shy about it either. This is who we serve. This is who we are. This is what our colors are. And the same thing, how you said, everybody else can come and support us, but this is the problem that we solving right now. And we know that if we can solve it for this specific group of people, then everybody else can just fall in line with it. But just like how you said, man, I'm right in line with what you said.
And I had a good point. I forgot it, but yeah, I forgot it. Next question.
It's cool.
Yeah, because it's really when you building community, like you're talking about scaling it and being intentional. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
I can piggyback off of something because I had a comment off of something that you said.
Okay.
So I really admire what it is that you do, because I kind of do some consulting on the side as well. And so pretty much what my software is some software to scale me helping out these businesses. But obviously it's only one of me and it's only one of my wife. But the whole purpose of Melanoid Exchange is for us to be able to help these businesses at scale. And so I like something that you said that falls exactly in line with building a community through technology. And so I built my community through Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
However, we got our Instagram up to 20,000 followers. And, a couple months ago, man, it was just going. We were getting about 40,000 impressions a week, but then Instagram started doing something with the algorithm. And so me understanding now what it is, what they were doing is because they want us to pay for posts, and they want us to, they had a business model that they thought about way back when, that we when we was just first getting on Facebook, we didn't understand what was really going on, and not everything starting to play out. But I like what you did with taking your community offline, because I truly believe, although everybody likes to flaunt the Instagram followers and things like that, people who have 1 million followers can truly only get 1,000 likes, 1,000 views on a video. And it's kind of crazy. But when you understand what's really going on, and when you understand Instagram and Facebook's business model, then you understand the importance of what you did with owning your own community. You understand? Because whether your business is product based or service based, we understand that in business, it's all just a numbers game. So I know that, probably 1% of the people that see something that I post are going to buy it. So if, and I'm not just talking about social media, but, whether it be a billboard or anything like that, so if 200 people see something, I'm going to, say in my mind, okay, I know that maybe only 2 people are going to, purchase that. And so when we understand that it's a numbers game, we understand what we are up against. So with you going ahead and texting your audience exactly, what it is that you're trying to get to them, I may have, 20,000 followers on Instagram, but only 200 people are seeing my post. And so that may convert to only 2 people purchasing it. As far as if I had 20 people on a text message community, like you said, 97%.
200 people, 98 people gonna see it. And you can have photos in there, you can have links in there, you can have so many different ways. Like I think of my text message community and my content from my text message community the same way I think about social media. My content has to be diverse. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just send out sports, or politics. I got history in there. Like, I'm thinking holistically, because that's a marketing. And so that's one thing I was going to say is there's more than one way to market. It's not just social media. There's social media, there's advertising, there's little flyers that you can send out. You really got to think, who am I trying? And that's the other thing I was going to say earlier that I forgot. We skip over target audience all the time because we try to think that we can sell to everybody. You cannot sell to everybody. You need to think about specifically who is the perfect person that's going to be the perfect person to buy my product.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when you said earlier, your persona, like you really got to think about how she look, how he spent his day, where does he go? So you can put your content in front of him at those places. So if I know that the girls that I want to be a part of my community, they go to Starbucks or the Black-owned coffee shop, I'm going to try to figure out if I can put my flyer in there. So every time they see it, they can be in touch with me. The thing is, people have to see your product 7 to 8 times before they buy in.
Come on now. They ain't ready
7
for
to 8
that.
times. So you need to be trying to put yourself more than just on social media. Social media is not the only way. You have text messages, you have emails, you have in-person events, virtual events. It's so many different ways, Clubhouse, and all of these different ways you can market your business, but you really have to think about, who am I really trying to target? Because you're not trying to target everybody. If you think you're trying to target everybody, go back to the drawing board. You need to get very narrow.
Yes.
And I'm not even targeting.
I just want to piggyback off of something that you said that my wife just sent me. And just because this is the Walk by Faith conference, and really understanding that you cannot help everybody, only God can help everybody.
Yes.
So you focus on your niche when you building your business and figuring out exactly who you want to, service, and understanding that, doing everything, trying to be everything for everybody, you will end up being nothing for nobody. And so I just wanted to add that in there. But I love what you were saying.
Definitely. And Instagram followers don't always equal money. Like, it does not.
No.
You have to have a holistic marketing plan. You got to figure out how you're going to touch people on multiple levels and multiple times, and really build a relationship with people. You have to think about, what's your tone? Like, if you are you going to talk about faith or not? How you going to talk about faith? How much are you going to talk about faith? What words are you going to use about the faith? Because everything that you do will take some people away and bring some people in. And so you just have to be very intentional about the community that you want to build, to make sure that you're bringing the right people in. And once you be specific about your audience, then you can start thinking about the verbiage to use to really get those people inside. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things I'm thinking about is like, spread good news. So I'm looking for people who are interested in the news, or at least halfway know they should be interested in the news. Because I'm not sending out, my text messages are not like quotes about lifestyle or Bible verses, even though all that stuff is really cool. My text messages is about sending fact-based information that you can find on like USA Today or Essence Magazine, Blavity, News One, a lot of the Black publications that are out there. And so one thing I will say is, when you're building your community, you're not going to have everything. Like right now, I don't have original content on the text alerts. I have original content because I have a podcast, and that's all original. But I had to build those things up as time goes, So I started with my text alert community, and I started with the people that I had. I reached out to everybody in my phone, and I asked who wanted to be a part of. And the people who said yes, I added them to the community. And from there, I had about maybe 100 people. Now you have someone to talk to. You have an audience of 100 people. And from there, we was able to grow to 500 people. And so you just have to take it day by day and just really trust in what you're building. And then each day you will see, okay, how can I continue to expand my business, and figuring out what platforms are for you. Because just because you can have a Twitter don't mean that you should have a Twitter. You really just got to figure out what platforms and what marketing tools are best for you, and where your community lives, like the type of people that you want to attract, where are they actually at? Because if they're on Facebook and you need to be on Facebook, but you spend all your time on Instagram, that don't add.
Talk to them now. Talk to him. I'm sitting back and I'm loving it. I want to add one more thing that I think that can also help. That's piggybacking off of exactly what you said. When you find those who your exact customer is, and you thinking about content, and although like what you just said, you might not have that original content. Something that we have taken advantage of is, if you understand who you're targeting, understand what exactly their problems are, and you build your community around solving those people's problems, and you're going to build your business around solving their problems too. But that's a whole nother talk. I want to stick to community right now, but becoming a thought leader in your space. So if I'm going to target, Black males from 25 to 30 that have had trauma from people around them being shot or killed, and it's just an example. I'm going to become a thought leader in the space of men against dying early or something like that. And that's just something that's coming off the top of my head. But I'm gonna all of the content that I gather from the internet from various sources are going to be around, helping them with that trauma that they might suffer, things like that. But I really want them to understand that, becoming a thought leader and spending your time focusing on whoever you're trying to solve their problems is really intentional on how your community functions. Because us, at Melanoid Exchange, we understand that the small businesses don't have the knowledge and the resources that they need to, kind of function online as they should or as their counterparts. So we offer little tidbits of information. And that's how we build our community. We give our information that, that other people are charging for, so I may take a course and learn all of this stuff, but I'm bringing it back to my community. And that's why they find my community so valuable.
Yeah, because as a thought leader, you already soaking up all this information. Like all I do is read and research different ways. And like, I know so much stuff, little bit stuff about Black people doing Black things all over the place, that I could just sprinkle it, whatever, but you really just need to become a sponge to whatever you're trying to get into. So if I'm about Black women and about Black women-owned businesses and faith, I need to be in that. I need to stay in that. That means I have to pray every day. That means I have to keep my faith up. Yes. I have to preach when I'm telling other people to do. You know what I'm saying? And it will come out in so many different ways. You can start a blog, just typing up a couple of paragraphs based off of what you already know and what you already learned, building that traction, because you're really just trying to get a footprint, a footprint of just every day of where you're trying to go so people can have somewhere to follow. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure your information is factual, that your information is relevant. You got to stay up to date, and you have to know where to get trusted resources from, because I cannot be out here sending my text alerts out, sending information that's not right. You know what I'm saying? I have to vet it. I have to double check it. I have to go to trusted sources of information. Like, you won't just find me using any old links and sending it to my people. No.
Facts.
You are like when you in this position, you have to move with authority, because people are trusting that you vetting the information that you've given to them.
Facts.
Because they don't have time. You know what I'm saying? You have decided to devote yourself to help these people along. So you have to make sure that you are doing the right thing and you on the right path, listen to the right people. Because if you don't, if you getting bad season to you, then you're going to seep that out into your community. So you got to make sure that you right inside too. Yes, and make sure you staying 100 to what you said that you going to do.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
For sure. For sure. All right. So this is another question. What digital tools and resources are you using to build your community?
So first and foremost, we like I said, man, we built a lot of our traction off of Instagram. However, on a separate level, I haven't used text message marketing as of yet, but it's most definitely something that I'm getting into. But what we use HubSpot. And so HubSpot is a resource that has email marketing. It has so many insights that we can connect with our audience at any time, and we can see when they're opening the messages, how long they spent on the messages, if they clicked, and how long they stayed on the message that they clicked. And so HubSpot has been a very, very good resource for us to use as far as interacting with our community. But on another level, a lot of our stuff is kind of private, because we have our own platform. And so, but the pretty much the biggest outside resource that we use to kind of communicate with everybody, whether it be our users, whether it be our customers, vendors, whether it be our investors, is HubSpot. We use HubSpot as an all-in-one tool to kind of get the message out about anything that we have going on or anything that we have coming up, and to kind of keep people in the loop on everything that we have going on.
Absolutely. So for me, I think I use Canva probably the most, because I'm building a lot of content like every single day. So I use Canva. Like I'm not really a graphic designer, but like I know how to write. I know how things should be appealing, like visually. So Canva is really good for me. So if you don't have like a lot of skills, but you want to be able to like do your own graphics instead of having to always outsource that type of service, I would definitely say that you should use Canva. For my text messages to send that out, I use a program called Textedly. It's really easy to subscribe and get started. I pay a monthly I pay a monthly price each month to have a certain amount of text messages. So I send out about 1,000 text messages a month. And throughout the year, I sent like 45,000 since I started. So I've sent out a lot of text messages. So now I'm starting to, so that's how I send it. It's based off monthly. And so if you can think about that, how much you need for your community. So you can start real low with only sending out one text alert a week. I send out 3 text alerts every week. And then I also use Sociable. And Sociable is a place that I use to schedule my content and try to like move forward. So, if eventually when you start a business, you'll be doing a lot of the content like on that day or as you think about it. But if you really want to be able to stretch yourself and really be able to think more expansively or do some other things as part of the business and expand other sides of the business, like me starting a podcast, that takes a lot of time too. So I can't be building content every single day. I have to think a little bit more holistically and think about how can I bench content and how can I also when you have one thing you can do is repurpose content. So if you have a podcast, you can take that podcast and make it into a blog, because even if you have a large community, people are going to have their own way of communicating or using your content. So you want to make sure that it's available in multiple places. Like, one thing is you could have a podcast, but it should be available on YouTube as well, because some people like to listen to podcasts on YouTube. And so it just really depends. You don't want to stop how people can interact with your community, but you also don't want everybody to be able to, you may not want people to just interact all kind of ways too. So you have to just be very intentional. Like, how do you want them, where you want them to be when they listening and all of that stuff. And so it's been very powerful. And I also use Square. Square has a lot of built-in tools to build like a store, or you can also have that little thing you add to your phone, and then you can just swipe and you can just be a vendor at any time. Like, keep the stuff in your trunk and let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. I see it's about that time for us, man. I most definitely appreciated being able to share the stage with you, Tierra. I do want to leave the people with this though. I really want them to understand, man, how important building a community, especially around technology, but even in the body of Christ, how important it is. I don't want to leave on the note forgetting about why we're here, and really understanding that the main function of the community is to have the different parts in the community that have their different functions. And once people, you will find yourself learning from your community and things like that, man. And so I really just want to leave these folks with a little scripture from Romans 12, one of my favorite scriptures, and from the Message version, and really just saying in this way, we are like the various parts of the human body. Each part gets its meaning from the body as a whole, not the other way around. The body we're talking about is Christ's body of chosen people. Each of us finds our meaning and function as a part of the body, but it's chopped off. But as a chopped off finger or a cut off toe, we wouldn't amount to much, would we? So we find ourselves fashioned into all of these excellently formed and marvelously functioning parts in Christ's body. Let's just go ahead and be what we were made to be. Just leaving us with that fact that the community is really for everybody. It's not just for us to be teaching, our users or, whoever is in our community. It's built for us to learn from each other. We all know the scripture, iron sharpens iron. And that is the most important part of the community, and just using this technology to, do what it is that we need it to do.
Amen. Absolutely. Yes. You put a cherry on the top of that.
First off, between Jovante and Tierra, both y'all snatched my edges. So, like at this point, they're gone. They're going. Like, I don't have any more. But Jovante,
my edges is swimming. Okay.
Okay, your edges are swimming. I see you swimming, sis. But tell me why I have one of the products that is inside Melanoid Exchange, and this is one of my number one companies that I pretty much market. This is called Hair Crack. It grows your edges back by Twin Nation. Okay, and I know y'all know Alicia.
That's my favorite vendor. So
that's my favorite too.
I need everybody who on here right now. I'm gonna give her a piggyback. Y'all go download Melanoid Exchange and y'all go and type in that Hair Crack, and y'all y'all go and get y'all some of that, because I know y'all need that.
And
so
go and get your edges back.
Javante, so Melanoid Exchange is an app that we can download?
Yes. It's an app that features right now over 600 Black-owned businesses that allows them to get their products into the world. And we got a lot of things coming, but that's just the start. But yeah, y'all go download it and y'all go and get that Hair Crack ASAP right now.
And Jovante, please connect with Uzo. The reason why is because Uzo came from Wall Street. Uzo got some more money that I know that he can help you find. So by way of this, go on and connect. Tierra, go on and connect with Uzo. Go on and let's get some money so we can keep building Black people up. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
As we segue,
I said in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name, come on.